It is August the 30th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Rec site in the St.simons Sound. Got out today, and right away we could see a little bit of the product coming off the ship. Here we have some of the sheening. Now, the good news here is we didn't see any of the heavier oil that we've seen before. This is something that we've kind of come to expect as part of this operation, seeing this sheening coming off. But here it is, almost like a little creek in the sound, if you will, just kind of flowing in. This was on the incoming tide. But that said, the environmental guys were out there. They were monitoring it, and there's really not much that they can do to pick up the sheen part of this. So they were out there monitoring everything. Had a good number of boats out there today, and everything looked like it was going smooth. And I say that because, wow, were they cutting today. The whole crew that were out there today got to see quite a sight, because the chains were really jumping. The blocks were dancing around, and we got quite a show. Now, looking back from not yesterday, but the day before when we were out there, and we could see where the chain movement had taken place. It was pretty neat to kind of compare and kind of understand just how far they've advanced in the past day or so with the cutting on this section. Everything is moving real good. We noticed that they still have not attached the lifting straps to the lugs. They're still kind of free up there. And we kind of, again, learned that by pulling and releasing on the anchor lines, they can kind of twist and kind of turn the VB 10,000 certain angles, and that gives them the ability to kind of steer that chain to help them try to avoid any unnecessary structure that is inside that Golden Ray section that they're cutting, to help kind of guide it through there. Maybe miss those pieces, and that seems to be a tactic that they've kind of mastered, and it really worked great for them on the last cut. And we see that same technique is being used again to this cut. And so hopefully we'll maybe see that this cut is completed in a quick amount of time. They're constantly learning. This is it's a new operation, but they've been doing it for a little while now, and we think that they finally got this down where they really understand what's going on. They know the tension that they could put on the chain without really worrying about breakage. Since they've changed this chain to the higher tension chain, we haven't seen the breakages that we saw very early on in the operation. So things are really looking good. Now, as we got around, we kind of took a look at the inshore side again, and we can see that chain is really it's moving. Everything is moving and making some really good headway. The chain is still coming up the hull, and we got a shot here of its location now coming out on the outside. Again, this is the west side, or what we call the inshore side of the VB 10,000, and it is progressing. You can really see how it's moving up, and then right through there, there it is. We can see that chain again, and it looks like if you kind of follow that chain down, you can understand they've gotten a pretty good amount of this whole bottom side is cut here. So I don't know, what are they? Maybe a third of the way through here, maybe even a little more. But we could definitely see that chain inside, and then kind of kept easing around. We're kind of going, and we're moving in an easterly direction here, moving offshore, just kind of looking at the wreck site and getting back. And as we get along here, you're going to be able to actually see completely through the Golden Ray. You'll start to see these little pockets of a light open up as we kind of get by there, and you can actually look right through the decks. And as we did, we could start to really see that offshore chain, and we got some good pictures of that. Now, day before yesterday when we were out there, we noticed that the chain was inside of the ship and right up alongside of the top deck. We saw that plain as day, and today we get through and we can see that the chain has moved all the way through that deck onto the second deck and then broken through and going back down and cutting into the third deck. And we'll show you what we mean here. If you look down, you can see where that chain is kind of laying now across to the second deck, upper deck, and then cutting through and going like looks to be an SUV. It looks like it's going maybe between two of the vehicles that are still suspended in there, but it's cutting its way into that third deck area now, third from the top deck area. So they're really moving. All right, so what we've decided to do here, it was a good day for watching the blocks and listening to the cutting operation. It was really noisy out there today. They were really cutting aggressively. So what we're going to do with the video here is just kind of let it run so you guys can listen to the cutting operation. And there's a good bit of it. You kind of watch the chains. And then we took the same bit of video and sped it up 8 times, where you can really see those blocks moving and how the VB is kind of moving back and forth between the wreck. All right, we'll catch you guys. You guys enjoy this, and we'll comment out on the end of the video. Well, we know the video was just a little bit jumpy there, but we hope you guys enjoyed watching that. Again, thanks for everybody with the Minorcan Navy staying with us and kind of finishing up the project. But if you're new and you haven't done it yet, we're going to ask you to click on that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, send us some comments. We love getting those comments. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.